All right, this is my Titan two post hoist, and this was installed back in 2007, 2008, and so it's 17 years old. So I just replaced the seals in one of the hydraulic cylinders, and when I ordered the seal kit, I also ordered some replacement pads, and so this video is going to be me replacing the pads on my Titan 9000 two post hoist. And the hoist comes with 6 pads. There's 4 on the regular arms, and then I'm going to call these other 2 auxiliary pads. And I've been having a little trouble trying to get the car positioned such that I can use all 4 pads. So I'm also going to use the torch and modify the 2 auxiliary pads to give them a little bit more flexibility on using those. So again, apologize for the audio, but here's the video.
This is what the new pad looks like. They only had 2 in stock, so that's all I was able to get. Here you can see that the auxiliary pads can only slide so far on the arm because then it hits the weldments on the arm itself. So I've marked where I'm going to cut the auxiliary pads to give them a little bit more travel. I'm going to gain about 1 inch. The nuts came off pretty easy on most of the pads. I had a little trouble with a couple of them. So I switched from a wrench to an impact, and that helped a little bit, but eventually I did have to use vice grips on one of them. Fortunately, the pads were chewed up so bad, take the pad off, and I was able to get a grip with some vice grips on the stud. Here you can see that each stud has a washer on the rubber side. There's no washer on the nut side. The washer is kind of oversized for the stud itself, but it fits right into the counter bore on the rubber. There were a couple of those studs that were a little tough to get the nut off. I tried using needle nose pliers to kind of wedge it between the stud and the pad. And then I tried a screwdriver to try and wedge it in there to lock that stud down so I could get the nut off. And I think that worked on one of them. And the other one, I did have to use the vice grips, rip the pad off, and then I could use the vice grips right on the stud. At this point, I had some new washers that were left over from another project, and they fit perfectly in the counter bores on the pads, and they were slightly smaller ID to fit the stud a little better. I had just enough washers for the 4 main pads.
All right, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and put some grease on these studs. It's kind of interesting that all the pads are the same, all 6 of them, but these had a flat stud with a washer, and the 2 auxiliary ones had a tapered bolt.
And now I can assemble the studs, washers, and nuts on each of the 4 main pads.
All right, maybe we'll tighten up these nuts first. All right, I'm going to see if I can get this thing cut off without too much trouble. Now I've got my hammer. we go. So that slides right up there now. So I gained an extra inch on my pad. All right, let's cut one more off. All right, I'm just going to grind that down a little bit, and those will all be ready. Might even put some paint on them one day. All right, got my Drill Master grinder. I think I got this from Harbor Freight once upon a time. So let's see if I can remember how to turn that on. There. And we'll just stick these pads on there. You know, I don't think I got any more of those washers, but I think I might. Let's see if we get these to fit. All right, I'm all done. That one goes there. This one goes on the other short arm. So that last clip might have got clipped a little bit, but I did get the welding done. I got the two old pads set on these, and I got the newer pads and the pads that were in better condition on the actual arms. And now these will slide and slide up a little bit further, so I might be able to catch the car in a little bit different spot. So that worked out pretty good. It's definitely not professional, but this is what I did to my hoist. This is how I updated it a little bit. So maybe that helps you. Parts are available still at Titan, or I don't know if I got them through Titan or from Excel down in Indianapolis. But anyway, give it a shot. I'll put some contact information in the description. Thanks for watching. See you later.